Bitcoin was supposed to be the future, the end of central banks, the death of fiat currency, and the rebirth of financial freedom. But 15 years later, we're still buying coffee with pounds, paying rent with dollars, and living in a world run by the same banks Bitcoin promised to destroy. So maybe Bitcoin was never meant to replace money. Maybe it was meant to remind us what money used to mean. When Bitcoin was born in 2009, it wasn't just a currency, it was a revolution. The idea was simple, a form of money without banks, governments, or manipulation. Digital, decentralized, trustless. Money that belonged to the people. And for a moment, it felt like the beginning of a new financial order. But a decade later, it's clear Bitcoin hasn't replaced cash. It hasn't become the world's currency. It's something else entirely. Something more like digital gold. Bitcoin's greatest strength is also its limitation, scarcity. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. No government, no central bank, no one can print more. That scarcity makes Bitcoin an incredible store of value, like gold, except portable, divisible, and digital. Bitcoin is the antidote to inflation, but that also makes it terrible money. Because money, by definition, needs flexibility. Economies can grow and shrink, populations expand, fiat works because it can adapt. Bitcoin can't, and that's exactly why people love it. It's not a currency for spending, it's a currency for surviving. Now, for all of its flaws, fiat currency, government-issued money is functional. You can pay your rent, buy groceries, and get paid for your job with it. And most people don't want a revolution, they want reliability. They want to go to a shop and tap their card. They want transactions instant, stable, and boring. Bitcoin isn't boring, and that's the problem. Its value fluctuates by thousands of dollars in a day. That makes it great for investors, but terrible for cash flow. Imagine getting paid in Bitcoin and watching your salary drop 20% by the weekend. That's not money, that's speculation. And then there is the energy question. Bitcoin isn't powered by governments or banks, it's powered by computers solving complex cryptographic puzzles 24/7. And that process is known as proof of work. Consumes more electricity than some countries. We built a decentralized utopia that runs like an industrial furnace. Each transaction burns through more energy than thousands of Visa payments combined. And while many miners are switching to renewables, the fact remains it's a system built on brute force, not efficiency. That's fine if Bitcoin is a store of value, but impossible if it ever tried to replace the trillions of microtransactions that make modern day life run. Think about how you use your money every day. Buy a coffee, pay for parking, tap in and out of the train, split a bill with a friend. Each one of those transactions is small, fast, and frequent. Bitcoin isn't designed for that kind of activity. Transaction fees can spike to several pounds, processing times can take minutes or even hours depending on network congestion. Nobody wants to wait 30 minutes for their payment to confirm while they're standing in Tesco. That's why in the real world, Bitcoin works better for big transactions, houses, cars, luxury assets, where the speed doesn't matter as much as the trustless finality of ownership. So maybe Bitcoin isn't failing, maybe we just misunderstood it. It was never meant to replace fiat, it was meant to exist outside of it, to provide an escape hatch when traditional money breaks down. Gold for the digital age, a lifeboat for a sinking monetary system. Central banks print trillions, government run record debts, inflation erodes the value of every paycheck, and all through it, Bitcoin sits there untouchable, finite, and independent. That's why it's not the new pound or dollar, it's the new reserve asset for people, not states. The future won't be Bitcoin versus fiat currency. It will be Bitcoin alongside fiat currency. You can still pay for coffee with government currency, but you'll store your savings, your long-term value in Bitcoin. You'll own Bitcoin the way people once owned gold bars, a hedge against everything collapsing. Bitcoin won't replace money, it will protect it. In fact, Bitcoin may force traditional money to evolve, to be more transparent, accountable, and stable. Because once people have an alternative, they stop tolerating manipulation. Bitcoin doesn't destroy the system, it actually helps the system remain honest. So Bitcoin won't buy your morning coffee, and that's fine. It's not supposed to. It's not the currency of convenience, it's the currency of conviction. While the world keeps printing and borrowing and inflating, Bitcoin just exists, silent, immutable, and waiting. It's not the money of the moment, it's the money of the century.